Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today we're delving into a topic that's not only relevant but also important for parents and caregivers to be aware of. We're talking about croup. But before we dive in, if you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss out on our informative and engaging health content. Let us get started. Also called acute laryngotracheitis and acute laryngotracheobronchitis. It is the inflammation of the upper airway, larynx, and trachea. Sometimes may also extend to the bronchi. The most common cause is parainfluenza viruses. Others such as adenovirus, respiratory syncytial virus, coronaviruses also can cause croup-like illnesses. Occurs generally between the ages of 6 months and 6 years. The condition is often worse at night. A non-infectious form of the disorder known as spasmodic croup, laryngismus stridulalis, presents clinically like croup but without fever and with less coryza. Also known as recurrent croup because there is recurrence and it usually presents at night. Subglottic edema in spasmodic croup happens without the inflammation associated with acute viral illness. This type may be brought on by viral infections. However, allergic reactions may also be the cause of the reaction rather than an infectious process. The patient is well before the onset of symptoms. Talking about the features. Croup begins with nonspecific symptoms of rhinorrhea, sore throat, cough, and low-grade fever. After around 1-2 days, hoarseness, barking cough, and inspiratory stridor develop, often suddenly, along with a variable degree of respiratory distress and may be associated with widespread wheeze. Symptoms are worse at night. Symptoms typically resolve within 3 to 7 days, but can last as long as 2 weeks. Severe cases of croup may have a quiet stridor due to a significant degree of airway obstruction. Children with croup should have a minimal examination so as not to upset them further and increase airway obstruction. A throat examination is rarely required. Risk factors for severe croup. Pre-existing narrowing of upper airways. Previous admissions with severe croup. Young age, uncommon, 6 months old, rare, love, months of age. There are scoring systems to evaluate the severity of croup. Westley score, assesses 5 factors: level of consciousness, 0 to 5, cyanosis, 0 to 5, stridor, 0 to 2, air entry, 0 to 2, and retractions, 0 to 3. A sum score of less than 2 indicates mild disease. A sum score of 3 to 5 indicates moderate disease. Severe disease is indicated with a sum score range of 6 to 11. A score of greater than or equal to 12 indicates impending respiratory failure. Alberta's score has features for the level of severity. In impending respiratory failure, barking cough, often not prominent, audible stridor at rest or not prominent, sternal wall retractions may not be marked, lethargy or decreased consciousness, and often dusky appearance or cyanosed without supplemental oxygen support. This shows the scoring system mentioned in RCH Guidelines. Pause the video and take a look. The loudness of the stridor is not a good indicator of the severity of obstruction as mentioned before. It is not necessary to measure oxygen saturation in children with mild to moderate croup. Croup is primarily a clinical diagnosis. No investigations are needed in croup, including nasopharyngeal aspirate, X-rays, and blood tests, and these may cause distress to the child and worsen symptoms. AP radiograph neck classically reveals a steeple sign, also known as a pencil point sign, which shows subglottic narrowing. Pulse oximetry readings to assess the need for supplemental oxygen support and monitor worsening respiratory condition. And assess dehydration status if the child has decreased oral intake. Make sure there is minimal handling to avoid worsening symptoms. Keep examination as minimal as possible. Keep children with carers or people comfortable to reduce distress. Allow the child to adopt a comfortable position that minimizes airway obstruction. Do not change this position. Sometimes you can allow home treatment of very mild croup, only a croupy cough. Here you must educate regarding the course of the disease so if the patient worsens, can return to medical care. Treat fever with an antipyretic. Encourage oral intake. Warm, clear fluids for cough. Avoid passive smoking. Elevate the child's head. Management involves corticosteroids and nebulized epinephrine. Severe respiratory distress or compromise may require oxygenation with ventilation support. If need, further support, intubate with an endotracheal tube. Shown here is the RCH Guideline management for Croup. After categorizing the patient, treat mild Croup with steroids alone. Barking cough with no other symptoms does not always require steroids. Moderate Croup is usually managed with steroids alone. Consider adrenaline if persistent or worsening symptoms. Severe Croup requires nebulized adrenaline and steroids. Consider nebulized budesonide if oral corticosteroids are not tolerated. Supplemental oxygen is not usually required. Use if needed. Consider a longer period of observation than 4 hours for a child who presents overnight, far away from hospital. Recurrent stridor during the same illness. Risk factors for severe Croup. Consider discharge when stridor-free at rest after either minimum of 4 hours post-nebulized adrenaline or 30 minutes post-dose of oral steroids, and adrenaline not required. If recurrence of stridor at rest, despite having received oral steroids, need to seek care. Antibiotics have no role unless complicated by a secondary bacterial process. Antitussives such as codeine have no proven effect on the course or severity of Croup and may cause respiratory depression and increase sedation. Humidified air has not been proven to change the severity of Croup. Heliox is not better than nebulized adrenaline in severe Croup, shown by studies. Alright, folks, that wraps up our discussion on Croup today. Stay tuned for more informative content on various medical topics. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends and family, and hit that subscribe button to stay updated on our upcoming videos. Stay safe, stay healthy.